Greetings once a damn again. Ain't we on the fourth fucking video already? God believe. Shit. Alright, this is Alex Will, 6'4". This is volume 4 of Occult Microbiology 101. You can find me at, as you probably know by now, AlexWill64 and Ether Realist on Instagram. And you can catch me at my websites, ether-ins.teachable.com and acrasunsum.com. This whole commentary videos that I'm doing is based on my ebook, Occult Microbiology 101, a timeline of spirogenetic posts, and you can download the ebook. There's a link in the description section of this video, as well as the previous 3 videos. You can also download my Dream Genome Thesis document is also in the description section, as well as the entire playlist of videos where I explain my Dream Genome Thesis over the course of 4 videos. So that playlist link is in the description section. So after establishing that, let's continue where we left off in volume 3. So this is chapter 2, going viral. And even if you may not like me out there, you know what I'm saying, there's comments and, you know what I'm saying, people done gave, a couple dislikes to my videos or whatnot. There's people out there that won't like me. They probably won't even like my information either. But can you please just, you know what I'm saying, can you please just like me just for putting this chapter title here, going viral? Like how I just put that double entendre right there. Like it's like going viral like on social media, but also going viral with actual viruses and shit. Can you at least like me for putting that? I mean, damn, I ain't trying to be, you know what I'm saying? I ain't know I was that dislikable, you know what I mean? But yeah, this is the chapter of the ebook where, it's a collection of the posts where, I go even more depthly into virology and the metaphysics and occult and esoteric side of it. And you have this passage or quote or lines from Judy K. King's book, Balls of Fire, A Science of Life and Death. So emergence as a cold light, chemiluminescent, or it could also say bioluminescent state of being may be possible through horizontal gene transfer and viral replication due to guanine content. So this is things that can go on at the genetic or microscopic level of your being. So let's continue into those posts. So this post right here is probably the Kickstarter of all this shit, like the set it off point for the rest of the posts to come after it. Because this is where I go into what is like this thing that we're calling melanin, or I ain't gonna say thing, like this substance, or this phenomenon. Like what's like? Let's go into it. Like let's break it down. Let's analyze it. Like what is it exactly? Well, you know what I'm saying, just doing some YouTube surfing that I usually do. Cowbunga. You know what I'm saying, YouTube surfing. I came across some videos because I'm very interested in the movies Alien, like with the xenomorph. I'm very interested. Anything about xenomorph or aliens that you know about, send it over to me because this is a very interesting movie franchise. You know what I'm saying? The first movie, Alien, came out in 1978. It was a Ridley Scott movie. It had Sigourney Weaver. She was the strong, feminine, what I'm saying? And a lot of times when you deal with film theory and film criticism, they often say like, Sigourney Weaver's character, Ripley, in this movie is like the quintessential female hero without being a Mary Sue or being some woman that's overpowered or she's over masculine. It's like the perfect female heroine, I guess, in this Alien movie. But like I said, we all know, in the occult arena that this movie was really about black people. Again, you're putting a black person in the xenomorph suit. You could have easily put a tall white, Nordic or Scandinavian, because they're usually, tall and lanky, Caucasoid people. You could have got one of them to do it. You know what I'm saying? But you specifically put a black man in that suit just like you did in the first Predator movie, in the second Predator movie too. You know what I'm saying? But when you like, there's videos where on YouTube where they try to explain this black goo. It's this black goo that you see in the movie Prometheus, which is a part of the Alien prequels, and then Alien Covenant came out in like 2000. I forgot, what was it, 2019, I believe. I don't know. I probably got the years mixed up. But you know, like I said, I have it listed down here like Prometheus and Alien Covenant. I don't think I put Prometheus here. But yeah, but even in just the movie Alien Covenant. So there's videos where you have these people trying to explain like what is the black goo, like what does it mean? You know what I'm saying? And they also have videos on there where they try to like analyze the deeper hidden meaning of the movies Prometheus and Alien Covenant, because it deals with the origin of mankind, the origin of humanity, if you will. So like I said, I came across this video where this dude was sitting here explaining this deleted scene from the movie Alien Covenant that you can only see if you get the Blu-ray disc, or probably even the DVD version, maybe just the Blu-ray disc version of Alien Covenant. Because you know that, especially with the director Ridley Scott, he's infamous for coming out with his director's cut of the movie. Because I guess when certain directors, when they have movies that, go to the producers or the execs of the, big time movie studios, the movie execs, there's shit that they don't want in the movie. You know what I'm saying? Because it probably doesn't, it's either, the movie is too long or it doesn't match up with their socio-political agenda that they want to put in the movie. So they'll take a director's movie and just like, no, take that out, put that in, switch that around, put this here. And it's just like an artist where you try to get it out there and you deal with it like a public channel or like a, say a mainstream channel. You want to put your artwork out there, but the execs try to chop your shit up and break your shit up and, destroy your original vision for your artwork. So Ridley Scott, he likes to put out movies he likes to put out his director's cut, like the movie that he originally edited the way he wanted it to be. He did that with Blade Runner, and he did that with American Gangster too. Like he always has a version of the movie where it's not fucked up by the movie execs. You know what I'm saying? But going back to this video that I saw on YouTube, like I said, it's a video about a deleted scene from the movie Alien Covenant where David, which is the android that was introduced to us in Prometheus, the movie Prometheus, he uses the black goo to create a new species to destroy humankind, which will then become the xenomorph that we see in the 1978 movie Alien, and then all the sequels that come after that movie. So David is the android that creates the xenomorph using this black goo. So in this deleted scene of the movie, he's telling the Weyland Corporation, this fictional corporation that's a part of the movie franchise. He's telling the Weyland Corporation through like a radio transmission that he's telling them what the black goo actually is. So this is like word verbatim what he says about it. This primordial ooze, which is the black goo, is ripe with advanced nanoparticles operating off an algorithm based on evolutionary computing, which is essentially a form of a radical artificial intelligence. He's using the word acronym AI, making the substance unbelievably chaotic. It generates a unique reaction to every genome, which is a set of DNA it encounters, reshaping life, virtually limitless in its potential and application. And Shaw is the woman that was in Prometheus that I guess he kidnapped and he started experimenting on. So he says with Shaw, the substance had a unique reaction to the human genome, and I was able to unlock new properties and tweak the organism's aggression and instinct for my survival, or for survival. It took me years, but I finally found my wolf. Which again, his wolf is, he's talking about the black xenomorph that he eventually genetically engineers. Very fucking important find. Especially when we're sitting here talking about viruses and we're talking about phage lambda with, you know what I'm saying, the whole balls of fire ISIS thesis thing. This is a very important find. It's telling you that there's bacteriophage viruses or something like that within this black goo that's intelligent. So the black goo is living. So in alchemy, we have a term for this living liquid or living oil called oleum vivum or contagium vivum fluidum, which means contagious living fluid. So again, this proves that the alchemists were dealing with microorganisms in their alchemy. This is how you transform. This is how you transmute. So this black substance is involved with, you know, David's genetic engineering. This is how he's able to create all these different xenomorphs. There's a pale white one in the movie too. But the blue one, which is called the Deacon, which is in the movie Prometheus, that one came about when the black goo got into one of the engineers, which is one of the, you know, the Nephilim or Anunnaki type of giants that I guess were responsible for the creation of humankind based on, you know what I'm saying, this Prometheus movie. You know what I'm saying? And again, pay attention to the blue. You know what I mean? You pay attention to the black, but definitely put special attention on the blue. So this black substance has microscopic viruses in it. Intelligent viruses. Chaotic viruses that engineer new creatures. So he put the you know what I'm saying, the black goo with this female, and he was able to experiment and do all types of cloning and all types of engineering. This is alchemy. Genetics is a child of alchemy. If you know the mother, you will fully understand the child. Okay? And in this creation right here, hold on, I messed up. There we go. And you know this phage lambda right here. This is what's in this black goo. This is what's in your melanin. Because we like to deal with the black substance, but what's in it? What's actually operating inside of this black substance that we call melanin and dark matter and all this stuff? Because they sat here and keep making movies about this very substance. This is the same black goo that you find in the movie Venom. Or in Spider-Man 3. The movie Phantoms, this black substance. Sometimes the color changes. Like, for example, we watched the movie Ghostbusters 2. It's like a pink substance. But you can tell it's shit that they haven't discovered yet. Because when they do discover it, then they decide to put it in the movie. They decide to cinematize it, put it in cinema. So the fear of the black messiah is really the fear of this black substance, this black goo. This is the same substance when you watch the movie Prince of Darkness, the movie that was directed by John Carpenter. How they say Satan is in, or the devil, or the Prince of Darkness is this black or this green substance. And it's responsible for all these devastations and these motherfucking people getting killed and they getting possessed by this substance. They talking about this fucking black goo, this melanin, this carbon shit, this 666 shit. This is your soul. This is the contaminant, or I ain't gonna say, or the container of your soul. This here, this whole complex. This is the soul. This is the Christ. We now know what the soul is. We know it's in the back of the head. We know it's right there. You can actually do exercises where you keep continuously tapping the back of your neck. Like right above your neck where your medulla oblongata is, where your, they say the mouth of God is here. What do you think they're fucking talking about? They're talking about your soul. Hell, there's even the movie Pulp Fiction, where you see Marcellus Wallace that's played by Ving Rhames, and before you see his face, before they reveal his face to you, they show you the back of his neck, and he has a Band-Aid on the back of his neck. And there's theories that, you know, in the movie where Jules and Vince Vega, which is played by Samuel L. Jackson and what's his name, John Travolta, where they go to that apartment to retrieve that briefcase for Marcellus Wallace, and when and then when keep forgetting his fucking name. When Vince opens the suitcase, he uses the combination 666 to open the briefcase. And when he opens it, it's this gold glow that appears on his face. So a lot of people that watch the movie, they say that was Marcellus Wallace's soul, and they was going to bring his soul back to him. And his soul was taken out from the back of his neck. So that's why he's wearing a Band-Aid. Now, you know, Quentin Tarantino, who directed the movie, and other people will try to say, well, you know, it was reported that Ving Rhames, who played Marcellus Wallace, he had a scar on the back of his neck, so that's why he had to put a Band-Aid. But I'm like, okay, you want to say that dumb shit, but we know that the medulla oblongata, or the mouth of God, or the concentration of the substantia nigra, or black substance, is right there in the back of the neck like that, or back of the head. So we know what the fuck you're talking about. Don't try to play us and say, oh, he had a scar while y'all was shooting the movie. Get the fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. We know what the fuck you're talking about. So again, anybody sitting here telling you that the soul is somehow, you know, in your heart, or, you know, it's in your anus. I don't know where the fuck niggas was putting the soul at. We know it's right there in your head region. When you deal with occult cosmology especially, we know the soul is in the head region. We know it's in that black substance in the back of your head, or in that head region. So when you're dealing with these spiritualists or new age people or occultists or whatever, where they're talking about the soul and they're not giving you like a practical or realistic, because like I said, the soul is not a physical thing, but it's vector. See, now you have to start using words like vector and vehicle and vessel. Because again, this phage lambda is the container of that soul, or that soul genome, or that Christ DNA. And what's this capsid called that the virus DNA is situated in? It's called the vector. Because I was talking to you in an earlier video where they use this viral vector to transport DNA from the first creature and put it in the second creature in order to genetically modify it. And again, vector, vehicle, vessel are all the same thing. It's a carrier. It's like a ship, like a spaceship. Any movie talking about spaceships or a ship, or you on the sea, they're talking about this here. The carrier. So this is a very important post here. Pay attention to nanoparticles, because again, when they create artificial nanoparticles and in these nanotechnology corporations or whatever, they're making artificial proteins that they control through electrical current, and we're going to get into a post later on in this ebook. So this is me teasing that I had, or putting hints that I came out with this dream genome thesis, that I was coming up with it at the time. Note the time, note the date. So this whole dream genome thing was already starting to take shape and develop at this time. So that's why I put out this post. You know, if I could give you the ultimate decryption and interpretation of every dream you've had in this life and beyond, plus every dream you'll have in the future, how much would you pay me for that key? But what did I wind up doing? I wind up putting it out for free, because it's like, why should I do that? Now, I'll charge you to do the actual interpretation of your dreams, but as far as like a universal decryption or decoding, I'm putting forth that your dreams are a coded depiction of the genetic and quantum microbiological activity in the cells of your body, in your being. Now we get to another picture or illustration that I got from this website, mostholyplace.com. So I don't know if you've already went and visited, if you watched my previous 3 videos, because I mentioned the website in the earlier volumes of this series. So this whole thing, I'm the one that put the, the cell definition, the cell, and then the self definition. But the actual illustration here is, like I said, I got from this website. Hold on. So this is a very interesting decoding right here, or decryption of this whole thing about the Holy Tabernacle. Because again, if we're telling you that the Bible is an alchemical book and it's coding alchemical processes and alchemical substances and microorganisms and cells and all this stuff, this shit is a very important find. And it also, and you'll see later in this ebook, I keep saying you'll see this shit later. I'm just giving you a heads up or a forecast what you're going to see later if you haven't already read the ebook, is that this shit kind of really proves my fucking dream genome thesis. It really proves it. It gives weight to it. It gives it validity. Because now what you're doing with this is you're establishing the inside of a cell as a place you can actually go and visit inside of. Like you can make that transportation into your cells, like a conscious quantum state reduction into the cells of your body and see all of this going on. Or something like it going on. Because they stole this directly from Kemet, like this whole thing about the Holy Tabernacle. So now we know that dealing with the whole balls of fire and, I was about to say black balls and shit. You know what I'm saying? Balls of fire and the ISIS thesis, supposedly written by, Judy K. King or this Symbiotic Society of America. You pick one, which one you want to pick. Like I said, it's showing you that these ancient Kemites or Egyptians were well versed in genetics. Highly versed in it. Highly into it, knowing all about it. Because they have this Temple of Luxor, right? And if you read the Schwaller de Lubitz books, like Isha Schwaller de Lubitz and Renee Schwaller de Lubitz, how they wrote these series of books where they spent maybe like a year or so or some months studying the monuments and artifacts and temples over there in Egypt and whatnot. And then they wrote all these books based on the shit that they discovered and what was revealed. And you see on the Luxor Temple that there's nothing but hieroglyphs carved into the walls. You go into the Pyramid of Giza, there's nothing but hieroglyphs written on the walls. You look at all the tombs and the jars and the caracasses, like the cabinets and everything in that whole thing is all of these carvings of hieroglyphics or Medu Neter carved everywhere. Which again is indicating that they were writing or carving actual spiri-semiotic text or genetic text onto all of these things. You see what I'm saying? So again, they was showing you that they knew genetics and they knew about this holographic text that becomes your DNA in the physical. So again, it's dealing with the inner court or the outer court, inner court, and holy of holies that we know when you get into this whole thing about initiation or Solomon's temple. Solomon's temple fits right into this whole diagram. So now someone sit here and fucking decoded it that everything in this fucking holy tabernacle corresponds to an organelle within the cell of your body. God damn. God damn. What a find. What a discovery. Look, just look over. Let's marvel at this shit. So you have a whole movie. What's the movie with Steven Spielberg? Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. And you see this fucking thing in the movie, this Ark of the Covenant. Nigga, this shit is talking about something in your fucking cells of your body. It's not talking about no actual ark or chest, like physically. No, nigga, it's talking about something in the nucleus of your cells. The most holy place is the nucleus of your cells. So again, when you lucid dream or you meditate, this is a place to aim for. This is a place to go to make changes, to find the hidden stone. Because doesn't in the ISIS thesis and in Balls of Fire, isn't it explained that the phage lambda gets into the DNA um, of a cell and it rests there, just like Osiris or Osar is asleep or in comatose state in the DNA, and then it wakes up? Nigga, you need to go here in your lucid dreams. This is where you need to go. Or when you so-called die, this is where you're going. This is where you'll be aiming for. So now we're getting into some real occult microbiology, where you have a quantum state reduction where your mind shrinks, or not shrink, I ain't gonna say shrink, not shrink. It scales down to a fractal. This is where fractality comes into play. Fractals. This is why it's important. Where your mind fractalizes downward and inward into the fucking microscopic cells of your body. This is where the true initiation takes place, homie, homegirl, homeboy. Any type of initiation. I don't care if it's gangs. I don't care if it's initiation into Masonry, into the Rosicrucians, into Greek letter organizations in college, initiation into saying the booty Illuminati, where they getting your booty. All that shit is based on this pattern of going into the DNA level of your body. True initiation is microscopic. And I ain't gonna spend a lot of time on this here, but this is just a post where Lynn Margulis, she's the author of the book Microcosmos, which is mentioned in Judy K. King's Balls of Fire, and how microbes are God. And her whole life, her career was basically the study of what goes down on the microscopic cell level of life. She was the one to put forth that mitochondria was once a prokaryote, a single cell prokaryote that got absorbed into the cells of the human or any type of eukaryotic cell, and then it became an organelle within the cells of animals, plants, and fungi or whatever. So this is her right here. She's a Jewish woman, Zionist Jewish woman. That's important to put there. And she put out this paper talking about, there's no such thing as a fucking AIDS or coming from a virus. There's no such thing. In a time where what? They were sitting here in the campaign throughout the 80s and 90s talking about you get AIDS from the passing of a STD. So if you have sex with somebody who has HIV, you can contract HIV. And then if you don't do anything about it, you don't take their drugs or their treatments, you'll develop AIDS. And then you'll die from one of the diseases that you would not even die from if your immune system was in optimal health. That was the fucking narrative they were spinning. But she was in an interview and then she talked about the paper, The Resurgence of the Great Imitator, where she was talking about, there's no fucking substantial evidence to prove that HIV virus causes AIDS. There was no such document. There's nothing that proves that. You see what I'm saying? And then also in this paper, she was talking about how it's really a bacteria that would probably cause immunodeficiency rather than this virus that they're talking about. It was more like a bacteria. You know what I'm saying? I forgot which bacteria it was, but just look up this whole Resurgence of the Great Imitator paper. You know what I'm saying? Look up Lynn Margulis and you'll probably, and like I said, I provided a link here if you have the PDF. You can just click on the link here and it takes you to her interview with Discover Magazine. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this shit is, like I said, again, it proves the point that they was using this HIV AIDS thing to target black people or people of a melanated, you know what I'm saying, genotype or a phenotype. Because you are the carrier of what? This motherfucker right chump. You're a carrier of it. So again, here's a post where I was breaking down the original meaning of Hebrew. Hebrew comes from Hebrew, and it then comes from the Latin Hebraicus, You know what I'm saying? Hebreos. And then it comes from the Aramaic Ebre. And then Ibri or Ivrit. Eber. The Israelites. The cross bearers. The one who has the cross. The ones who are half soul, half human. Who've done the alchemy. That's the Hebrew. And those who are descended from those beings that, you know what I'm saying, they are soul, half human. And have done the completed work. This also ties into the whole thing about crossing over the river. Like, I don't know if you know about the Greek mythology of Charon. I think I mentioned this before, where you have to give the ferry boatman Charon, you have to give him like these coins to transport over the river Styx into the other side. That also ties into this Hebrew thing. You're a crossover being. You're a cross-bearing being. You are the motherfucking two thing, the rebus. You know what I'm saying? So both this so-called Star of David, or Merkaba, and this X symbol are both mean the same fucking thing. Oh my lord! Now you gotta watch this movie. How did motherfuckers miss this movie? Stargate. Because I knew that they had the Stargate SG-1 TV show. What channel was that on? Was that what network was that on? I think it was a Sci-Fi channel. I may be wrong, but they had the Stargate SG-1. But I never knew that there was a movie that this show was kind of like a continuation of. Because you know how they make movies and then they make the show out of the movie. So yeah, this was an original movie, Stargate, back in '94. And oh, how they fucking reveal shit in this movie. First of all, they deal with the whole ancient Egypt thing in this movie. What they also do is deal with microbiology. I don't know if you can see it here, but it says Ra, the alien parasite, the microscopic soul. So the character in the movie, the scientist dude, the archaeologist dude, James Spader character, he's the nerdy dude with the glasses or whatever. He explains in the movie how when he's reading the hieroglyphs, because Stargate is about when they go through this portal. You know what I'm saying? This gate that they find, this magical gate that they find in the ruins of Egypt. And so the dude, he's brought in, the nerdy dude, he's brought in by this woman. I guess she owns the archaeological dig that they're doing. Like, she's in charge of it. So she brings him in to decipher the hieroglyphs on the Stargate stone. So once he does that, they activate it. So then him and a platoon of army soldiers, one of them is led by the Kurt Russell character. They go into this new world where it's still ruled by it's still an ancient Egypt world. So they go through the Stargate and they read the hieroglyphs on some of the temples in this new world, and he translates it. And he talks about how Ra is a parasite. All the way back in 1994. So Ra is a parasite. Again, 1994. This is during the time of AIDS. This is during the time of AIDS, HIV. Pay attention to this shit. Then when they also talk about how the crack era, where they brought in crack rock. See, crack rock is analogous or is a gross reflection of the living stone or the occult lapidem or the phage lambda virus crystal. So they said, we're going to give you that stone, but we're going to give you a cocaine stone. So our inclination to fuck with stones, they gave us a fucking crack rock. Because I'm telling you, whenever you're dealing with drugs, you're dealing with a gross reflection of spirituality. Understand that. Understand what I just said. Understand that part. Enter and overstand it. If you want to be, depthical and woke. Over and understand it. You know what I'm saying? And this is important when it comes to like those cities that were most impacted by the crack rock epidemic. And right off the top of the dome, that's New York City and Washington, D.C., especially Washington, D.C. Because there's a correlation between heavy drug use in a certain geographical area and a high spirituality or high spiritual energy in that area too. It correlates with each other. So if you're in an area with high spirituality, you're also in an area of high drug use. Because the motherfuckers is using the drugs to emulate or simulate spiritual experience. And you do that no better than, you know what I'm saying? What better thing to use to do that than, psychedelic mushrooms and, mescaline and all that type of stuff, LSD and all of that. But then, like I said, you have the heroin, you have the crack rock, you have the marijuana, you have all that too. So that crack rock was symbolic of that inner virus. So they have the crack rock, they have the HIV AIDS thing, and then they sitting here talking about the alien parasite and this whole phage lambda shit. It's all connected and correlated with each other. They were trying to fucking demonize the viral components in your microscopic level of your being. That's where your soul is. That's where your ancestors are. That's where spirituality takes place. That's where your power is. So watch the movie Stargate. They explain how Ra is a parasite that got into this human boy and took over his body, and then he became the ruler of Egypt, or that world that they went into. That's, that's like a new Egypt or something, or ancient Kemet. But again, they try to demonize him by saying that he became like a tyrant and he enslaved the people, in that Egypt area. But again, they're doing that to demonize Ra, Osiris, and Asar and all these, Egyptian deities or Kemetic deities. Because they're demonizing your ass on a microscopic level. The war is between what's going on your microbial level and these motherfucking crackers out here. These Caucasoids that want beef with you. This is why the movie was made in the fucking first place. You see what I'm saying? So when you start fucking comparing, when you start telling me that a deity was a parasite, you gotta start fucking studying occult microbiology. You're in the right spot. So then I came out with this here, this thing that I posted, I created, this collage. Emphasizing the point that the vector or the boat or barge or vehicle or sunbark that you see Ra and other deities riding on, where you look at all these illustrations and depictions and Egyptian artwork and stuff like that. This is the fucking viral capsid, and the DNA inside it, or RNA, is the god. The Ra or the Osiris or Osar. It's the boat is the viral capsid. It's the vehicle, the vector. This is the fucking mothership you need to be getting your ass on. You feel me? You study cloning. Again, I'm going to keep saying this shit till I'm blue in the face. It's a vehicle. That was a hint that the viral capsid of phage lambda or any virus like it is a ship. It's a vehicle to get your ass on. So again, when you go into fucking lucid dreaming or even meditation, or if you're sitting here using drugs to induce these different states of mind, aim for getting on the ship. Get on the boat. Now we go back and look at these movies like Pirates of the Caribbean, where they're talking about the Black Pearl and the Flying Dutchman, the names for these ships that they're on. They're telling you what the fuck this shit is. And then they had the, the Cthulhu-like character in, in the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, Davy Jones. Nigga, he represents the soul. But he's the villain in the movie. But he represents the soul. But he's the villain in the movie. But he represents the soul. But he's the villain in the movie. Well, that's telling you. They're putting out these movies to demonize your microscopic world, or the things or entities or intelligences or deities in the microscopic level of your being. You know what I'm saying? They kept leading us, you know what I'm saying, to think that the deities are in the sky somewhere. They're a spook in the sky, like how the 5%ers say. Nation of Gods of Earth say, like the spook in the sky. No, nigga, it's within you. That was the fucking ultimate point of your initiation. Going into your microscopic being. Because that was initiation. First, you got the religious shit. Like, they just gave you the religious side of things. You was just to worship the gods. Then on the second level, you compared what the gods were to the astrological and astronomical placements in the sky. That was the second level. Then you dealt with a deeper level of knowing that all of that shit that you're looking at in the sky is right there within in your being, in the microscopic level of your being. That was the third level of initiation. So this is the science of initiation. That whole Balls of Fire book to me is a scientific look at initiation. That's why it's one of my favorite fucking books right now. You know what I'm saying? I even started to call my fucking Bible. Because it's like, yo, not even, the author or whoever authored it, since y'all don't want to say Judy K. King wrote it. The fact that it has that long list of bibliography where you can go see this shit and make interpretations for yourself. This is how I learned about Peter Garriev and the wave genome theory. You know what I'm saying? The Russian scientist. This is how I learned about Lynn Margulis, who had all these books about, the microscopic realm. This is how I learned about, you know what I'm saying, all these different authors who were, or scientists who were experimenting on, you know what I'm saying, like the DNA in the cell of the body. You feel me? So get your ass on the boat. If you think we're supposed to be going somewhere to escape Earth, nigga, it's on this fucking ship. It's on this bark, this boat, this barge, this vehicle, my dude, my love, my sis. It's on this right here. I don't know who got you thinking that you gotta go all the way to some physical location to do anything. No. Nigga, you are the physical location. You know what I'm saying? You the body. You are the address. You are the temple. You are the King Solomon temple, nigga. Oh, and this fucking breakthrough right here. Oh, shit. When I made this breakthrough, because I ain't seen not a near nutter conscious personality or woke nigga or new age person, or I don't know what you want to call these people out here in these woke conscious occult communities. I don't know what you want to call them, but they wasn't touching on shit like this. Now, if you could sit here and you was listening to somebody and they told you what I found right here, you can fucking tell me in the comment section, or you can email me about it and tell me that they said it first, and I'll respect them for saying it first. But this discovery right here, it makes the analogy between stars and viruses, nigga. Ooh. Every nigga is a star. Remember back in 2015 when Kendrick Lamar put out that To Pimp a Butterfly album? That was my shit. That whole album had me on some new shit. I wanted to go buy me some white Reebok sneaks and give me, a red plastic cup and just start dancing all fucking day. I love that fucking album. But what was that? What was the song he sampled? Every nigga is a star. Nigga, that's an occult saying. That's an alchemical saying. I don't know if Kendrick knows that. I'm not sure about that. But he put it in his album. It was in his fucking album. I don't know how woke that guy is or how depthical he knows things. But like I said, he put that shit in his album. And then who he sampled from. Let me hold on, give me a moment. So I want to look up who was the actual who sung that song. Hold on, give me one moment. This is snack time. You can go get your you know what I'm saying, what you was going to eat while you watching what you watching right here or you listening to. Hold on. But while you looking, check this out though. Check this shit out. Stars in their dying years create common metals like aluminum, iron, and not just aluminum, iron is all the metals, and blast them out into space in different types of supernova explosions. For decades, scientists have theorized that these stellar explosions are also explain the origin of the heaviest and most rare metal or elements like gold. So guess what the viral capsid or the crystallized vector or shell that these viral entities are made from or contained in? They are made in metal atoms or metalloproteins within this fucking capsid. You see there? Because this is now what you also see. How I also came across this understanding is just understanding that the earth is symbolic or it is analogous or correlated to the cell in your body, the cells of your body. Okay, so the singer of Every Nigga Is a Star, that song is by Boris Gardner. So that's the song that you hear in the beginning of Kendrick Lamar's album, To Pimp a Butterfly. Every nigga is a star. Nigga, that's an alchemical truth. And the reason I also say alchemy is because metals. You're dealing with metals when you're dealing with alchemy. Remember, lead to gold, and then how all the planets are aligned with a metal. Gold is compared. Sun is gold. Moon is silver. Mercury is obviously mercury, the metal mercury or quicksilver. Venus is copper. Mars is iron. Jupiter is tin. And Saturn is lead. And then you can get into uranium, neptunium, and plutonium, which is, the elements that they use to make a lot of these fucking nuclear weapons and bombs and shit. So there you fucking go. In alchemy, you deal with metals. Why is metals important to alchemy? Because metals are the most conductive materials for electricity. Electricity is the fucking root of everything in existence. Again, remember when I was telling you, your mind is an electromagnetic field. It's an electromagnetic cloud. It's an electromagnetic phenomenon. That's why metal is important in alchemy. Alchemy is really about that electricity, those higher levels of the electromagnetic spectrum that you can't see with your naked eye. The cosmic rays, the microwaves, all that shit. That's where the alchemy is rooted. Then when it gets into the physical, we're dealing with metals and, melon and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But if you're making the correlation or the analogy between Earth and the human cell, or a cell in general, then what would the stars be? What would the sun be? What would the moon be? What would the planets be? Within this, or in as it relates to the cell. Even in Judy K. King's book, in her book, Balls of Fire, she mentions how the sky is DNA. But I'm like, no, hold on, wait a minute, sweetheart. Not exactly. She was on it, But to make it more to correcter, the stars that you're seeing in the sky are viruses. The macrocosmic version of microcosmic viruses. That's what you're looking at in the sky. So with that understanding, what do we say? What can we conclude? What can we safely conclude? What we know about the stars, we can apply to the viruses. What we know about the viruses, we can apply to the stars. So if there's deities within the viruses and the phage lambdas and all that, there must also be some sort of correlation to what's in the stars in the sky. So surrounding all of your cells of your body is a cluster of stars or viruses. Ooh. So every time there's a supernova with a star, metal comes through. Same thing with a virus. It's made out of metal. The reason we deal with metal is due to the virus. We copy the behaviors of these microscopic organisms in our own macroscopic human existence. So the reason that we've ever did any type of factory work with metal, or we use metal in our guns or our cars, or in somewhere in our home, our appliances, we're copying or mirroring or emulating what these microscopic organisms are doing within the cells of our body. This is another fucking find right here. This is another big ass fucking discovery. So while I was sitting here trying to, studying virology and becoming an amateur virologist, you know what I'm saying, discovered fucking influenza. Why has it never occurred to me before about this fucking word? Why would you call a sickness influenza? Because it looks just like the fucking word influence, obviously. But why would you call a virus after influence? The word influence. Well, just based on the use of the Z in this word, this should let you know that this is an Italian word or an Italian rendition of the influence word. This is an Italian word. So when you're saying influenza, you're speaking Italian. Mamma mia, you know what I'm saying? Niglione, you know what I'm saying? You're doing that shit when you speak Italian. You know what I mean? With the influenza. But look at the definitions. These are definitions that you can go fucking look up at etimoonline.com right now. Look it up right now. Right fucking now. It tells you right there in the fucking etymology. Influenza comes from the word influentia or epidemic, influenza, visitation, influence of the stars. So these people back then in these times, what times are we talking about? Hold on. We're going all the way back to like even 13th century. They knew at that time that the stars in the sky was corresponding with the events on the earth. So this right here validates astrology. For anybody who's doubting the validity of it or they think it's a pseudoscience, no, nigga, they knew astrology was the science of studying the stars' influence on the earth. They knew that science. They knew that at certain seasons of the year, influence was going to come about. One of the people that I was learning some of this stuff from, he was telling me that seasons are nothing but changes in light frequency. So when you say the word season, you're just what you're saying is another version or another aspect or a change up of the light. The light is changing its circumstances or its flavor for the time. So this right here validates astrology. But then they come to use this word influentia or influenza to refer to a fucking virus infection. This also corroborates or validates this discovery here, that viruses and stars are the exact fucking same thing. Just go look it up yourself. Just read this shit right here within the ebook. Because we know there's a flu season. You know how they keep talking, oh, flu season is coming or allergy season is coming. What the fuck you think they talking about? They're talking about astrology when they say that. Astrology literally means study or the logic of the stars. The knowledge of the stars. So what does the logic of the stars have to do with viruses affecting and giving, you know what I'm saying, causing sickness or whatever? It's a season for that, my dude. Because they like to focus on this whole COVID-19 and, you know, coronavirus shit right now, but let's focus back on the fucking influenza virus, where the flu has been claiming lives ever since, you know what I'm saying, they done found out about it and then started doing statistical work on it, or statistical study on it. This is a big find right here. Because I know there's people out here that was talking about the whole Beetlejuice thing, you know, the star system or the stars with that. And then you would have to also add in the whole thing about the supernova. You know what I'm saying? The supernova activity of stars. But this is what gives validity to any of that shit right here. Influence. The ancient understanding that the stars had an effect on human or earthly existence. The stars in the sky and the stars in your blood, in your body. The viruses. Brings me into this next post, because a lot of people done slept on Meteor Man ever since fucking Black Panther came out. They've been sleeping on Robert Townsend's, you know what I'm saying, Meteor Man. Talking about Black Panther was the first black superhero. No, the fuck. Well, maybe he was as far as like comic books. I think there was a superhero before him too. I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? But as far as cinema goes, this guy, you know what I'm saying? Meteor Man. He didn't come from no, you know, distant Africa country, you know what I'm saying? And then you watch the Black Panther movie and it's, you know, these people over here don't even like American black people like that anyway. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't even welcome you into Wakanda. You know what I mean? The fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Y'all niggas, man. But anyway, that's the preference. If you like Black Panther better, I don't care. But I grew up on Meteor Man. You know what I'm saying? They had Robert Townsend, they had Eddie Griffin, they had Bill Cosby, James Earl Jones, Marla Gibbs, Robert Gillett. I forgot to pronounce his last name. He played the voice as Rafiki on the Lion King movie. He was Robert Townsend's dad in the movie. You know what I'm saying? What else? Who else was in that movie? I'm gonna just start dropping names. Who else was in that motherfucking movie? They had Luther Vandross. He was the villain. He didn't really say nothing in the movie though. He was the villain, or one of the villains. They had Don Cheadle. He was one of the Golden Lords. You know what I'm saying? Yo, the movie was but the movie was scientific though, without even being scientific. Like you just got hit by a meteor, and now you all of a sudden got these superpowers. You got these supernatural gifts and abilities. That meteor represents this fucking viral capsid. That meteor is phage lambda. That meteor is that fucking the meteors come from stars exploding. But the whole term of meteors comes from not necessarily, it didn't start with just those rocks that come out of the sky. It actually means any type of celestial activity that you see in the sky. And I have it written down here or typed up here. Hold on, no, it's in a later post because I didn't revisit this whole thing in a later post. When we get to that post, we'll deal with it. But meteor was never just simply rocks or clunks of metal. It was also talking about rainbows, thunder and lightning, anything that you would observe in the sky at any given time. We are the meteor people. So all that activity that shit is supposed to be taking place in your body. So thunder and lightning, bitch, that's signifying the electrochemical activity within the cells of your body. That's why we have thunder and lightning, because you have thunder and lightning in your microscopic cells. All these motherfucking meteorologists and astronomers sitting here trying to explain the phenomenon of thunder and lightning. Like, nigga, just look at the fucking flesh of your body. Look at your cells. Make the correlation. We are the meta-eros people. Eros meaning air or atmosphere. So meta being beyond. We are the ones beyond the atmosphere. We are the true extraterrestrials. That's us. This is all part of alchemy. That's why if you go to buy a meteorite from people, you're usually it's going to cost you a grip. Because they know that there's microscopic life forms that be in or inside or lodged inside of all of these meteorites that they find on the ground. The study of meteorology or meteorites, it's a fucking big fucking business. They don't really tell you about it, though. They don't really put that shit out there in public media, though. Because, again, watching the movies. What movies do we need to watch? Deep Impact, Armageddon, Venom, and Spider-Man 3, where there's a meteor coming towards the Earth. Or a meteorite lands on Earth. And then with Venom and Spider-Man 3, the black substance, the black goo, the melanin, that black matter comes out of the fucking meteor and attaches itself to these white people. And then they have a whole fucking storyline or narrative about it. We are the meteor people. We are the one meta-eros. That's us. And then this is some while, just brushing up on my Masonic information or dealing with Masonry. They love dealing with this hive. This is very symbolic in Freemasonry. Pineal gland and melanin containing virus particles. Notice the words. Pay attention. Remember I mentioned this shit before? Remember I talked about this whole thing in my misinterpretation video on my YouTube channel. This knowledge right here. I ain't even gonna voice it for you. I'm gonna let you read it. Now this motherfucking discovery. Oh lordy. Loaded. Woo! This shit right here, nigga. Right here, this shit right here on the screen right now, nigga. This had to come through me in my dream. Again, this is why Dream Genome Thesis ties in to this Occult Microbiology 101 ebook. Because I actually had a dream where a hand tore into the room I was observing. It tore into it. It was a hand, a big ass fucking hand, about the size of a minivan or an SUV. It just tore into the room. And when it clawed into the room, a wave of black ocean water came into the room with it. That was in my dream. 2 days later, I'm sitting here studying with viruses and whatnot and come across this understanding of RNA polymerase or polymerase. Viruses are all known, most of them are known to have these proteins known as RNA polymerase or polymerase, however you want to fucking pronounce it. And the protein is in the shape of a hand. So now, look, we got to go through all these. There's even more biblical passages that I couldn't even really fit into. I just wanted to put some of them. There's all types of passages in the Bible talking about the right hand of God. Talk to the hand, literally. Remember back in the 90s, it was like talk to the hand or talk to the white side because the black side don't want to hear. Remember that shit back in elementary school and shit, grade school and shit? Literally, that's what we need to be doing. That's where the science is leading me, talking to the actual hand. I don't know if you ever seen any type of iconography where you see a hand and there's an eye in it. It's referring to this RNA polymerase and the intelligence of it. the sentience of it, the spirit behind it, or the soul of it. If you look at a lot of alchemical and Masonic or Hermetica type of shit, you'll see the hand coming out of the clouds, controlling what's on the earth. The hand of the philosopher, that's another thing. This is talking about RNA polymerase, where this hand, this enzyme or this protein in the shape of a hand, edits your DNA. This is what it's doing. This is a diagram. It's editing your DNA strand. It's like a hand coming down from the heavens to manipulate and re-engineer or reshape your actual genome. Turn on genes, turn them off, edit them, make them this way with a hand. So this microscopic genetic engineer coming out of a virus. This is the hand of God, who has gone into heaven and is at the right hand of God, with angels, authorities, and powers have been subjected to him. So even in Masonry, they have this thing of the lion's paw. So when you get knocked, it's a ritual where you get knocked over, where you lay on your body, you lay flat on your body on the ground, and then one of the Masons lifts you up by your hand, and that's symbolic of you becoming the new God, or the God-man, or the new thing. Because the lion's paw represents the sun's rays. Because you know how the lion and the sun are often synonymous with each other, like even in astrology. Leo is ruled by the sun in astrology. You know what I'm saying? It rules over the sun in the 5th house in astrology. So that lion's paw is represented. This is the lion's paw. Hold on. This is the lion's paw, y'all. So now we know that these viruses that they keep trying to demonize and vilify is actually something we need to be going towards and dealing with on an alchemical level. This is the hand that's within the fucking phage lambda virus. So when you get touched by this hand, the laying of the hands, I don't know if you know about that in religion, or laying of the hands, excuse me, that is a literal thing going down in the microscopic level of your being. And then I take it a step further when you deal with Thanos's Infinity Gauntlet. That hand, the power of that fucking hand. Notice when we was talking about subatomic particles. So he's manipulating the use of the subatomic particles to manipulate the forces of the fucking galaxy to kill off half of the life of the universe. This is a microscopic thing going on right here. This is microbial, guys. Y'all. You guys. Like, you know, white people. Come on, you guys. This shit is microscopic. This is alchemical. And how each finger represents some symbolic power, as symbolized by these infinity gems, which are really subatomic particles. So Thanos himself in that movie represents your soul. Hold on, what time we on? All right. So this is the last one I'm going to do, and then we're going to get into volume 5. So this is something where I put this post up because you got to pay attention to the shit that you see in these cartoons, comic books, movies, TV shows, wherever you see all these different forms of entertainment. Because they're hiding shit in it. They made a whole fucking Pokemon pocket monster out of DNA. Based on the whole features and attributes of DNA and viruses. So this Pokemon Deoxys is, you know what I'm saying, they got it from the term deoxyribonucleic acid, which is what DNA stands for. So this is Deoxys. You know what I'm saying? They're hiding this shit in their little franchises. Because mostly what people know about Pokemon is probably like, you know, Pikachu and, you know, the Charmanders and shit like that. Nah, nigga, you gotta go deeper. They got shit like this in there. And you see how I got asterisks around the important, information in this, one post alone. You know what I'm saying? Highly intelligent, just like the viruses are in your body. Its brain is the crystal. Viruses are made with crystals, metallic crystals, shooting laser beams. They radiate energy. They radiate light. The radiation is their actual intelligence, the spirit of what they are. What else? It deals with electromagnetic wavelengths. It communicates, through the electromagnetic wavelengths without having to use fucking phones or wires or anything. It's on a quantum entanglement with this right here. And then the various electromagnetic waves given off by people, Pokemon, and all electronics can obscure its vision if there is enough interference with its communication. So that's that whole thing where, black people, you can control them with music. So you put out gangster music, you can influence these niggas to think jail is a cool place to be and crime is a cool place or cool thing to do so that you can get them in jail. And I guess it has been working over the decades. You know what I'm saying? This Pokemon came from outer space inside of a meteor. We are the meteor people. Do I have to keep saying this shit? Do I have to? So this right here is an anthropomorphized version of the viruses in your body. Like if you gave them like a humanoid shape or a humanoid body, like a humanoid like a, anthropomorphized form. It would probably, it could look something like this to explain what it is or what it does. How its arms look like DNA helixes or helices. Then I even put this here, even before I even came up with the title of this ebook. This is pure occult microbiology. Note the date. So like I said, I'm going to stop here because I went way above the time that I wanted to. We're going to get into volume 5. The next time I put this, or, maybe tomorrow it will be put up. You know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't going to say tomorrow because I don't know when you're going to be watching this. You'll be watching this 10 years from now. I don't know. But, we're going to get into volume 5. Again, my name is Alex Will64. You can download Occult Microbiology 101 in the description section of this video. And I'll catch you in volume 5.